Welcome to the deep dive. We take detailed source material, really a full account of someone's life sometimes, and pull out the insights that matter most for you. Today, we're sinking our teeth into something really fundamental. It's endlessly revealing the daily rhythm of food. We're decoding meal habits.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got this really rich, detailed transcript here. It covers daily food routines, specific preferences, even like dining etiquette for two people. We'll call them Laura and Joe.
Okay.
And the mission, it's more than just listing ingredients. We're looking at these meal structures as behavioral data.
Right. Data points.
Exactly. By analyzing when they eat, what specific things they like, how they structure their plates.
Yeah.
We can sort of uncover their lifestyle priorities. Is it health? Is it comfort? Or just, convenience?
Makes sense. And our source material gives us this kind of blueprint, right, for a whole culinary day.
Yeah.
Breakfast, the midday meal, which sounds crucial, light dinners, their snack rules, which sound pretty strict.
They are.
And then, those ultimate favorite foods, the really personal ones. It's like a roadmap of their relationship with food and, I guess, time management, too.
It really is. And our main goal here for you, the listener, is synthesis.
Yeah.
We need to get beyond just the summary level.
Okay.
We're comparing, contrasting these choices. Laura's approach versus Joe's. What patterns pop out? What can you learn about routine, discipline, preference?
Yeah.
Things you might apply to how you think about your own habits.
Okay, let's unpack this then. We're going to see how maybe a choice at 7 a.m. impacts energy at 1 p.m.
Exactly.
and how a favorite food, lasagna or sushi, whatever it is, kind of defines who they are in a way. It sounds like a deep, maybe delicious exploration of structure.
Definitely delicious. Let's dive in.
Right, breakfast, first meal. It's the first chance for what, optimization or maybe indulgence?
Sets the tone.
Both people in our source material, they agree this meal is, and I quote, very important, but how they actually do breakfast couldn't be more different.
Totally distinct.
Yeah, it seems like a clear split, pure function versus something more, maybe protein-focused, comfort-oriented.
Well, that first meal, it's absolutely critical. You said it sets the tone, and metabolically, that's exactly right. For the next few hours, anyway.
Okay.
Your breakfast choice, it doesn't just determine your immediate energy. It influences cravings later on, how satisfied you feel until lunch.
It's big.
Hashtag, yay egg. The minimalist approach. Source example 1.
Okay, let's start with one approach. We could call it like the minimalist contract. Laura's breakfast, super simple, just bread with cheese.
Simple.
And the drink, strong black coffee.
Specifically noted.
Right.
Without sugar.
Right. That choice, it speaks volumes about what she's prioritizing.
How so?
Well, the bread, that gives you the simple carbs you need pretty quickly. Replenish energy after fasting all night.
Okay.
The cheese adds a bit of protein, a bit of fat, helps smooth out that energy curve from the bread. Just enough structure. It's fast. It's probably cheap. Almost zero prep time. That's efficiency fuel, pure and simple. But the black coffee, that seems key, doesn't it? No milk, no sugar.
Oh, absolutely. That's the non-negotiable part.
Yeah.
It's just unadulterated caffeine delivery.
Right.
That functional fuel idea, it's perfectly shown in the black coffee. If you add milk or sugar, you buffer the caffeine hit, you add flimmiver calories, things she seems to be actively avoiding them.
Uh-huh.
Choosing black coffee signals. I want strong, immediate, purely functional energy. It suggests her weekday routine is probably packed, time-sensitive.
Maybe an early start, high demands.
Could be prioritizing being fueled and alert quickly. Maybe for a job where alertness is just paramount right away.
So enjoyment, complexity, that comes later. For now, it's output and stable energy.
Seems like it. She's signaling she doesn't want that metabolic swing you get from, say, a load of sugar first thing, hashtag B, the classic start, source example 2.
Okay, so that's the minimalist.
Now, let's contrast that with Joe's approach, his preferred method. Scrambled eggs and toast.
Okay, that feels different immediately. More involved, definitely protein heavy.
It's a bigger commitment to the morning routine, absolutely. We've gone from just simple bread to actually cooking eggs.
Right.
The main thing here is the protein, the eggs.
Yeah.
That gives you a much more sustained energy release through the morning compared to just bread and cheese.
It lasts longer.
Yeah. Protein takes longer to digest, keeps you feeling fuller.
Yeah.
This isn't a grab-and-go meal. It implies a bit more time, maybe 5-10 minutes for prep. It signals he's prioritizing nutritional quality over just pure speed.
And the coffee. Totally different, too. He likes his with milk and a little sugar. Why is that small detail so important?
It's that difference between function and comfort, isn't it?
Okay.
Adding milk and sugar, it softens the coffee's bitterness, the acidity, makes it milder, sweeter. honestly a more sort of hedonistic experience where Laura just wants the pure delivery. Joe chooses a gentler, maybe more comforting wake up. It acknowledges that starting the day needs fuel, yeah, but also maybe a little enjoyment.
And he also has fresh orange juice, calls it the best.
Yes. And that little word, fresh, it's really telling.
Oh.
It lifts the juice from just being there to being a deliberate quality choice. He's not just grabbing a carton.
Right.
He's prioritizing taste, maybe fresh vitamins, maybe even the small ritual of preparing something vibrant. It suggests he cares about the sensory experience, the perceived quality right from the start. A real contrast to the pure utility of Laura's bread and black coffee. #C, the weekend exception.
Interesting, though. Despite these really different weekday starts, efficiency versus sustained protein, they both agree on the weekend exception. Both of them say that on weekends, breakfast becomes big.
And that shift, it tells us something about the psychology of the meal ritual.
Okay.
The difference between weekday and weekend eating, it's not just about hunger levels, right? It's about signaling a switch. You go from, let's say, production mindset during the week.
Right, get it done.
To leisure mindset.
Yeah.
The food itself is like the flag announcing, okay, discipline, pause for a bit.
And the examples they gave were pancakes with fruit, specifically mentioned bananas or strawberries, and honey. That's a big shift calorically.
Oh, absolutely. Heavy on the carbs, natural sugars. Pancakes are ceremonial, aren't they?
Yeah.
Celebratory, almost.
It takes time.
Takes time, looks good,
Yeah.
inherently indulgent. Adding honey, fruit, it reinforces the idea that, yeah, maybe health is still kind of there. It's not like deep-fried Oreos or something.
Right.
But the rules definitely relax when the schedule allows for enjoyment. The functional meal bread, eggs, gets replaced by the emotional reward meal pancakes.
So it's like a necessary break?
I think so.
Hey.
Psychologically essential. It's a decompression technique. And paradoxically, that break makes the strict weekday diet sustainable. If it was just discipline 24/7, you'd burn out, right? The weekend meal is the reward you've earned.
So food isn't just fuel. It marks time. And the quality, the type of food, signals how valuable they think that time block is.
Precisely. Weekday function, weekend pleasure.
That idea of structure shifting brings us nicely to the midday meal. After the morning fuel, whatever form it takes, we get to lunch. And both Laura and Joe call this their main meal of the day, usually around 1 p.m. This feels really interesting because that timing, it must shift the whole metabolic strategy for the rest of the day.
Oh, absolutely. Declaring lunch the main meal is maybe the most significant cultural and physiological insight we get here.
Why is that?
Well, in many Western cultures, dinner is the big one, right? Eaten late, largest meal, most social importance.
Yeah, usually.
Prioritizing a large midday meal, which is common in places like the Mediterranean, parts of Latin America. That's a conscious metabolic choice. #A. The importance of lunch as the main meal.
What are the implications then of eating such a big, nutritionally dense meal right in the middle of the day? Logistically, that seems tricky in a modern work setting.
It implies a real focus on managing digestive load. Think about it. When you consume most of your calories, especially those dense carbs and proteins, in the early afternoon, you're aligning the peak of digestion with your peak activity levels, physically and mentally, in the mid-afternoon. Your body's actually ready to process that energy efficiently.
So it's like deploying energy proactively when you need it most.
Exactly. Plus, it means dinner can be smaller, lighter, eaten earlier.
Right.
This helps ensure your body isn't working hard on digestion right when you're trying to sleep. A big meal late at night can mess with sleep quality, raises core temperature, diverts energy. By shifting that main load to lunch, they're likely promoting better rest and recovery, even if it takes a bit more planning midday. It kind of validates their routine physiologically. #IntactTB Laura's classic and healthy lunch.
Okay, let's look at the specifics then. What fuels this big midday energy need? Laura's typical lunch. Rice and beans. She calls it a classic. Paired with grilled chicken, and this seems important, a large salad.
That lunch is a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Built for sustained energy and getting those micronutrients in.
Rice and beans.
Yeah.
Classic how?
Well, that combination, it's classic for a reason. Together, they create a complete protein profile. That's crucial, especially if you lean towards plant-based eating, but even otherwise. It's a high-fiber, complex carb foundation.
So no energy spike and crash?
Exactly. It prevents that quick rush and burn you get from simple sugars. Sustained energy.
And the grilled chicken keeps with the healthy theme.
Yeah, lean protein is key for satiety. Feeling full longer helps manage those potential mid-afternoon snack attacks. But the inclusion of the large salad, that's the real deal sealer here. That's Laura making sure she gets her micronutrients. It shows she knows volume and fiber are important for digestion, and it balances out the density of the right in beans.
Wow.
That whole meal structure, it just screams sustained long-term output. It's fuel built for running a marathon, not a sprint. Hashtag #TechNarC, Joe's leaner lunch choices.
Okay, so Joe's lunch shares the high protein idea, but he changes the main element, grilled fish with lemon.
Right, and switching from chicken to fish, that's a distinct nutritional choice.
How so? Both lean protein.
They are, but fish often brings those essential omega-3 fatty acids. Good for the brain, good for the heart.
Ah, okay.
And choosing lemon for flavor. Now, it suggests a focus on light, sharp tastes, staying away from heavy creams or too much fat. It keeps that overall health priority, but maybe suggests a slightly more refined palate compared to the simple utility of grilled chicken.
And he mentions specific vegetables. Carrots and broccoli. Why those two? Why not just vegetables?
That specificity, it's another data point. It tells us Joe is either really aware of the nutrients in those specific veggies,
Or he just really likes them.
or he just has a strong preference for their texture, their density. Carrots have that natural sweetness, beta-carotene. Broccoli is a vitamin and fiber powerhouse.
So unlike a general large salad, which could be anything.
Exactly. Specifying carrots and broccoli suggests a reliable preferred combo that hits both nutritional needs and his taste preferences.
Interesting. So both clearly value lean protein, substantial complex carbs for lunch, but they diverge on the exact source. Chicken and beans for maybe perdition, and fish with specific veggies for refinement, specific nutrients.
That sums it up really well, I think.
Okay, moving into the evening. The routine shifts again, quite dramatically, which makes sense, right? After that huge midday meal.
It's the logical consequence, yeah.
Both of them agree. Dinner is usually small, lighter than lunch. The day's main calorie work is done.
And this confirms that midday prioritization strategy we talked about. Dinner now has basically two jobs.
Which are?
Provide some warmth, some comfort, and make sure the calorie intake is light enough that it doesn't mess with sleep. Hashtag Chazier, the lighter evening fare.
And their go-to dinner choice seems to be soup. Heavily features soup. We heard examples. Vegetable soup, described as warm and pleasant, and tomato soup, which is a favorite.
Soup is just a masterful choice for a light dinner. It really is.
Why masterful?
It gives you maximum satiety, feeling full with minimum calorie density. It's mostly water, right?
Yeah.
So hydration. And the heat from the soup, that's intrinsically comforting.
Yeah, soup feels good.
It literally warms you up, signals a shift into a restful state. Describing vegetable soup as warm and pleasant really highlights that emotional role. It's like a gentle settling mechanism after a high-energy day.
And tomato soup being a favorite just adds that personal touch.
Exactly. It adds a layer of personal comfort, a preferred flavor, on top of just the simple warmth. It's the perfect, non-challenging way to close out a really structured eating day. Hashtag B. The comfort food indulgences.
But routine needs some wiggle room.
Always.
And the source material acknowledges occasional comfort food indulgences for dinner too.
And the choices are classics, universally recognizable.
Right. Spaghetti with tomato sauce, simple, classic, but key detail, always serve with lots of cheese to make it, quote, extra delicious.
Okay, this is where we see the intentional adding of fat and flavor to boost simple carbs. Spaghetti, tomato sauce. It's simple, often linked to childhood, family meals maybe. But the lots of cheese part, that's a behavioral key.
How so?
Cheese gives you fat, gives you salt, signals your palate associates with richness, reward. They're not chasing complex, exotic flavors here. They're chasing density, calories, and that nostalgic satisfaction.
And then there's the Friday night ritual, pizza. Sets a firm time boundary for a treat.
Planned deviation.
Laura goes for margarita, simple cheese, and tomato. Joe chooses pepperoni.
That Friday night rule, it's essential for keeping the structure during the week, I think. It's planned. The difference between margarita and pepperoni, it's slight, but maybe revealing.
In what way?
Margarita is pure, unadulterated comfort. Cheese, tomato, dough, simplicity, even in the indulgence.
Okay.
Pepperoni adds spice, more fat, a bit more textural complexity. It suggests that maybe Joe, remember he liked the grilled fish with lemon?
Yeah.
Maybe he consistently seeks a slightly more complex sensory experience, even when he's relaxing the rules. Hashtag C. The snack philosophy.
Okay, what about the gaps? The time between these defined meals. Their approach to snacks, or aperitivos, as the source calls them, seems really disciplined too.
Oh, yeah. The underlying goal here is clearly health maintenance.
Okay.
The default snack is low effort, high nutrient. Fruit, you can just grab apples, bananas, or yogurt.
Easy stuff.
Highly portable, quick energy, bit of fiber, designed to stop hunger pangs without messing up the main meal structure.
But let's be real, everyone gets hit by the sweet craving sometimes.
Absolutely. They acknowledge that desire for something sweet.
Oh.
And this, honestly, this might be the single most important actionable insight for you, the listener, about sustainable habits.
Okay.
The indulgence is strictly limited. 1 or 2 cookies, specifically chocolate chip, defined as a treat, not every day.
Yeah.
This is that behavioral boundary in action.
So they don't just deny it.
No. Denial often leads to, eventually breaking down and binging.
Yeah.
Instead, they practice controlled indulgence.
They allow the craving but limit the dose. Strictly.
It's exactly right. The psychological trap in dieting is often feeling deprived. By allowing themselves 1 or 2 cookies, a specific, potent, high-flavor reward like chocolate chip, they satisfy that psychological need for sweetness without totally derailing the metabolic goals set by their structured meals.
And the specific mention of chocolate chips
Suggests that's the ultimate defined sweet currency for them, their go-to reward. This strategy is just way more sustainable than trying for complete elimination. It shows they integrate treats as part of the routine, not as a failure of discipline. #tag V. The ultimate favorites and practical application.
All right, now for the big one. The question that goes beyond routine reveals identity. The ultimate all-time favorite food.
Yeah, these choices are loaded with emotional weight. Define their highest culinary value.
We'll move away from function structure.
And into the deeply personal. And we see a really stark contrast here. Food defined by nostalgia versus food defined by maybe contemporary culinary adventure. #tag A. Comfort versus culinary adventure.
Okay, first, Laura. Her favorite, deeply traditional, her mother's lasagna. She describes it as sweet and notes, home cooking is always the best.
Lasagna.
Ugh.
It's the quintessential comfort food, isn't it?
Pretty much.
It takes time, patience, often saved for special family times. It's dense, layered, rich. The fact she specifies her mother's lasagna, that means this food carries history, love, tradition.
Yeah.
The value isn't just how it tastes, it's emotional. Her highest value food is rooted in domestic history, warmth, appreciating those time-honored methods. She values connection through food.
Okay. Then, total opposite end of the spectrum.
Okay.
Joe. His favorite is sushi. Notes the fresh fish, the rice, the variety.
Sushi represents a global palette, doesn't it? Complexity, refinement, it needs top-quality ingredients, specific skills to make.
Sure.
Appreciating fresh fish and variety signals a palate that values cleanliness, complexity, maybe even novelty. It reveals a priority on culinary exploration, quality, that goes beyond just simple nostalgic comfort.
So his priority seems more outward-looking.
Yeah, valuing modern technique, diverse tastes.
So those food routines we talked about earlier, Laura leaning traditional rice, beans, margarita pizza, and Joe leaning towards specific high-quality things. Fresh juice, grilled fish, pepperoni.
Right.
It all kind of culminates perfectly in these favorite foods, defines their basic relationship with the plate.
Absolutely. One finds peak satisfaction in the known, the ancestral, the comforting. The other finds it in the precise, the high quality, the innovative.
Okay, so since these routines often happen out in the world, in restaurants maybe, we should touch on the practical application here. How do you communicate these preferences politely when you're ordering?
Connecting personal choice to social interaction.
Yeah.
That's crucial, actionable knowledge for you, the listener.
Definitely.
The source gave us some key pointers on polite ordering. Necessary phrases like, I would like whatever the dish is, please, or can I have X?
It's funny, we sometimes forget how much basic social stuff hinges on those small grammatical choices, I would like versus I want.
It's vital. Using I would like, it conveys respect, a bit of formality, courtesy. It reframes it from a demand to a request. And that's really important if you're ordering something specific, maybe with changes for health reasons, or just preference. That formality softens the request, makes the whole interaction smoother, more pleasant with the staff.
The example interaction was pretty clear. Asking for a table for one, please. And then saying, I think I'm ready. I would like the grilled chicken with vegetables, please.
Yeah, that emphasis on please, the structure I would like. It shows an understanding that your personal preferences need to be expressed within that social framework of courtesy.
Right.
The food choices are personal, sure, but how you deliver those choices impacts the whole dining experience. Mastering these simple phrases is essential if you're navigating a new environment. Hashtag tag Vita6. Outro and provocation.
Wow. Okay, this has really been a deep dive into I guess, the architecture of a daily routine. We covered the functional fuel of black coffee, the metabolic brilliance maybe of making lunch the main event,
Yeah, the strategy behind it.
the crucial psychology of the 1 or 2 cookies rule,
Love everything the golden adult.
and that defining contrast between home-cooked lasagna and, expertly made sushi.
We really established 2 key takeaways, I think.
Okay.
First, that cultural insight.
Mm-hmm.
Lunch can be the dominant meal. It validates managing calories midday for better energy and rest. That's powerful.
Yeah.
Second, that sustainable discipline isn't about just eliminating things. It's about setting firm, controlled boundaries around indulgence. That treat, not everyday idea, that's a roadmap for long-term success with habits.
Makes sense. And finally, that difference between comfort food and culinary exploration, it reveals core emotional priorities, doesn't it? Food is a mirror to our past, our ambitions.
Exactly. We saw food rooted in tradition, safety, warmth, contrasted with food rooted in global complexity, adventure, refined taste.
Right.
So we'll leave you with this final provocative thought, something to mull over next time you structure your day, or even just think about your favorite meal.
Okay, let's hear it.
Analyze the structure of your ultimate favorite meal. Does it serve as a kind of psychological anchor? Does it represent where you came from? Or does it serve as more of a signpost? Reflecting where you want to go, the global experiences you're looking for. What does that ultimate choice really say about your deepest, most personal relationship with food?
Think about the stories hiding in your refrigerator, I guess.
Something like that.
Thanks for diving deep with us. We'll catch you next time.